Hey everybody, Jordan Rushing again from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com. I just wanted to discuss a little bit with you about the coaching carousel in college football. Today, obviously, is what's often referred to as Black Monday. It's the first weekday after the last game of the regular season for a lot of coaches. So obviously the guillotine fell on some heads today, and we also had some other news to discuss in the coaching world as well. Urban Meyer, obviously this has been the worst kept secret for the last week or so. Obviously took the job at Ohio State today. Supposedly the contract's for 7 years, $40 million. To me it's a great hire, especially coming off of the allegations from Jim Tressel. Obviously, judging by this season, Luke Fickell was not the man for the job to bring them to where they expect to be as a program. I'm hearing also some great rumors about possible coaches that he could bring along. Mike Stoops is a name I've heard. Obviously the coach that was fired mid-season from Arizona to be the defensive coordinator. I also heard a rumor today about possibly Chad Morris from Clemson maybe coming to be the offensive coordinator. So Urban Meyer looks like he's going to build a great staff. I really expect Ohio State to get back to dominance here in the near future. He's got Braxton Miller for at least 2 more years as the starting quarterback there. He's a great fit, great athletic quarterback with a good arm that would be a great fit for his spread option system. One of the most surprising news stories today, not really, but I guess under the circumstances, was Rick Neuheisel being fired from UCLA. Normally a 6-6 season, that really doesn't cut it at UCLA, but the surprising thing is the fact that they're playing on Saturday for the Pac-12 championship. Rarely would you expect a coach that's coaching for a conference title to be fired. Obviously, this is under different circumstances due to the fact that USC is not postseason eligible. But I think the Saturday night beatdown they took 50-0 from USC had a lot to do with the move that was made today. A couple of names I think could be good for UCLA. And this guy's going to be up for probably a good number of high-profile jobs, and that's going to be Kevin Sumlin from Houston. Obviously, they're wrapping up a 12-0 undefeated season, playing for a Conference USA title this week against Southern Miss. Got a chance to win that and win a bowl game, possibly the Sugar Bowl. They're probably going to be BCS bound, probably the Sugar Bowl. Possibly, depending on the opponent, have a chance to have a 14-win season, which obviously is extremely rare. Another one, another axe that fell today was on Dennis Erickson at Arizona State. You can go back and look at my preseason blog. I had them in my top 25. I can't remember, maybe around 23 or 24. I had a chance for a good season. They started off 6-2. I really felt good about that. I thought they were off to a great start. Had a good chance to win the Pac-12 South, but was shocked at the way they collapsed down the stretch. They lost in a rivalry game at home to a 2-win Arizona team, and then this past Saturday were beaten fairly handily at home to close out the season by California. So Dennis Erickson, I think this is probably his last hurrah in the college head coaching world. This is probably it for him. Obviously I think Kevin Sumlin could be a fit at Arizona State as well as in UCLA also. And maybe even a June Jones, another Conference USA coach, who has basically brought the SMU program back from the ashes and made them relevant again. Just to backtrack real quick, on the UCLA job, one other name I meant to mention, my homemade shot sheet here let me down, but one that I forgot to mention was the possibility maybe of Jim Tressel. Obviously, with the possible sanctions being handed down, this is a very, very unlikely case. He would definitely be a high-profile coach that would fit the bill to coach in Los Angeles. He'd be a great recruiter. Supposedly at one time the upstanding citizen that they would like to have. But chances are he's probably going to get slapped with a show cause penalty when all this ends at Ohio State. So, most likely not a solid candidate. I doubt they'd hire him, just like most Division I basketball teams that had high-profile openings aren't going to hire Bruce Pearl, even though he's a great coach. So I think in the long run, Tressel, maybe this isn't his go-round. Maybe in a few years he'll have a chance to get back into college coaching if he decides. But again, that was just a rumor I'd heard about Jim Tressel possibly being a candidate, but I highly, highly, highly doubt that comes to fruition. Probably the saddest of moves I saw was Kansas dropping the hammer on Turner Gill. Again, Turner Gill's a great guy. I know a lot of people politic for him to have the Auburn job. When Gene Chizik got it, a lot of folks wanted him because he was a hot name and had done really well at Buffalo. He only got 2 years, and the funny thing was he only went 5-19, just like Chizik did in his 2 years at Iowa State. But in the long run, Kansas did not show any signs of improvement. They were getting housed every single week in the Big 12. Lost games to, I believe, North Dakota State last year, and it just had lost some teams in the FCS. So again, Kansas is not that great of a job. So I don't really think there's going to be a whole lot of high profile candidates lining up to take that job. Just goes to show you what a great job Mark Mangino did when he was there. They actually won an Orange Bowl. Another one is the Ole Miss job. Obviously, Houston Nutt was let go a couple of weeks ago. He was able to coach out the season. Amazingly, I've never seen a team quit on a coach that was under fire the way Ole Miss did. I think that said a lot about their program. I think he kind of assumed they were going to rally around him and finish out the season strong when they did the exact opposite. God, they were terrible at the end of the season. Obviously they lost at home to Louisiana Tech soundly. Lost 52-3 to LSU, lost 31-3 in the Egg Bowl to Mississippi State. Just an awful ending to the year. One candidate I think is going to be the high-profile name here is probably going to be Gus Malzahn. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to attract the interest this year that he got last year, coming off being a high-profile, high-octane offensive coordinator at Auburn off the national championship squad. Obviously his stock is down a little bit this year, but he's also he's probably at the point now where he may be ready to jump ship and go to. I think Ole Miss would be a great job for him. Another name. This is kind of a shot in the dark. Just that I was thinking of maybe Hugh Freeze from Arkansas State. He's done a remarkable job there. If you remember, he was also Michael Oher's coach in high school in Tennessee. Just done an excellent job turning an Arkansas State program that pretty much honestly was garbage, and he's recruited them up and coached them up, and they actually won the Sun Belt Conference this year. So he is another choice. Larry Porter was fired from Memphis today. One name I think this would be kind of funny. Memphis obviously is one of the low on the totem pole jobs. Not a lot of community support, not a lot of financial support from the athletic department. Obviously, Memphis now has fully turned into a basketball school. But what if Houston Nutt took a gander up the highway and went to Memphis? He may be a guy that could have some time, be given a decent stretch of time to turn that program around. Another surprising, well, not so much, but another firing that was definitely surprising 2 months ago, would have shocked you, was Ron Zook at Illinois. What I heard today, they're the first team ever to start 6-0 and finish the season 6-6. Finished on a 6-game losing streak. Obviously, I think if lost to Minnesota on Saturday, they were just finished the season very poorly. Obviously, if he decides to go back and be an assistant in college, he would be an excellent recruiter for some of these big name schools. He could possibly be a special teams coach or maybe a position coach on defense somewhere. But he would be a great hire as a recruiter for some major university. Lastly, one axe that has not fallen yet, but I think possibly could. Would be Mike Sherman at Texas A&M. Obviously, when he got that job, a lot of people were shocked that Mike Sherman, he didn't seem like the home run hire. Preseason top 10 pretty much unanimously across the board. Everyone had him in the top 10, and they just could not finish ball games this year. They lost a ton of games in the fourth quarter. Had a heartbreaking loss to Texas, a game they really dominated the first 2.5 quarters on a Friday night. Actually, I guess it was Thursday night. But they really finished the season on a sour note. I would not be shocked if they did decide to make a move. They're coming to the SEC, brand new conference. They're trying to sell it as a whole new fresh start. Would not be shocked to see them fire Sherman. And just one name I throw out there as a possibility: Kirby Smart. I think he is, finally gotten some of the recognition that he deserves as being a great coordinator under Nick Saban. I know a lot of people like to give Saban all the credit for the defense, but Saban can't coach the defense hands-on every single day. I think he realized that. Kirby Smart has done a great job there. I honestly believe that Kirby Smart's ultimate career goal is to be the head coach at the University of Georgia. But obviously with the way Coach Rick has done, that's not going to be an open job here anytime soon. So he may be better off looking at other places. And Texas A&M would be a great place to prove himself in the Southeastern Conference to be a head coach. All right, so again, that's kind of a wrap of today's Black Monday. A lot of coaches being fired, a lot of rumors being thrown around. If you've got some great rumors, some great news that you've heard about possible coaches heading to certain places, please leave those in the comment box below. And again, don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com. Have a great evening.